Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another mental health talk. Today is Saturday, February 5th, 2022. Happy Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and it's something that a lot of Americans deal with every day. Another great topic for mental health, another great reason that you should hire me for your next mental health speech, fireside chat, or whatever, at www.dkendrickjr.com. Today, we are going to talk about what do you do for yourself? And the reason I ask that, as a, as people, we dedicate so much time, energy, effort into other things that we put ourselves at the bottom of the totem pole. We don't give ourselves time for anything. So, hypothetical question, because as a speaker, I like to engage my audience, and there's no audience in front of me, obviously. You guys are my audience. Just ask you, what do you make time for yourself? Do you make time for yourself? Just think about it. Do you? Let me ask you, let me tell you why I say that. We seem to spend so much time on our jobs, our kids, our husbands, college, things like that, that at the end of the day, it's 9 o'clock at night and we don't know what the hell. We haven't done anything for ourselves. As parents, some of our jobs, as I'm not a parent, but some parents, their day starts at 5:45 in the morning, getting the kids ready for school, getting them on the bus, making sure they got their book bags, taking kids to school that missed the bus, making sure they took the trash out, yada, yada, yada. And then you get yourself ready for work. You go to work, you work 8 hours a day. You got to pick the kids up from school. from school. If your kids are in some type of sport or after school activity, you got to take them to that, wait for them to get from that, and then take them home. You got to, be that wife, girlfriend, husband. You got to make time for them, make them feel special. Mwah, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How's your day? Yada, yada, yada. And you got to help the kids with their homework. Then you got to get the kids ready for bed. And then you got to spend the last 2 or 3 hours of your day with your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, watching a movie, something on Netflix, whatever. And you haven't made any time for yourself. Give me a like if that sounds like your routine. And then here's what happens as a result of that. First of all, our mental health, it goes in the trash because we dedicate so much time, energy, effort to these other people, places, and things that the last person that we make time for is us. The people that we love the most, they don't get to see us at our best. And the things that we love the most, they get all of our energy, all of our effort. We get none of it. Excuse me. And then we do things to make ourselves feel good that are cheap, easy. We do things like, we say things to ourselves like, oh man, I deserve that drink. I deserve an extra sleeping pill, or I deserve whatever your addiction is. I deserve an extra, I don't know, I deserve this, I don't know, whatever you do. I deserve an extra blunt today. Or I deserve, an extra bump of Coke today. Whatever your addiction is, whatever your vice is. And that's going to lead me into my next point. There's a saying that it takes 21 days to form an addiction, or however many days. I'm not an expert on this. I am not a therapist. I am not a doctor. I didn't get my PhD. I do have a master's degree, but I didn't get my PhD because I drained my GI Bill. Nobody's going to pay for it. I'm not paying to go to college because I heard that student debt sucks. You can file for bankruptcy, but that student debt not going nowhere. I'm not for it. So I'm something called an advocate. That's why you see people on TV like Stephen A. Smith. Never played professional football, but he can talk about professional football with other with professional athletes because he studied the sport of football. Skip Bayless, he got a show with freaking Shannon Sharp, Undisputed, because never played a down professional professional football. However, he studied the sport. And that damn Nick Wright talking about my Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. He's an advocate for the sport, for every sport, because he studied his craft and he dedicated his life to that. So I dedicated my life to mental health. So when I talk about these things, I'm not an expert. This is not I'm not a doctor, therapist. Don't take this as medical advice. However, I am a veteran, living with PTSD, my own mental health challenges. I am vice president of Non-Ready Cab, and I'm a professional speaker, and I advocate for others who suffer with mental illness, because mental health is not a sexy topic. Nobody wants to talk about it. Back to the point. Psychology Today is a blog that I write for, and I have a blog from Mr. Brian King, PhD, one of my colleagues on Psychology Today. How long does it take to form a new habit? And I'm going to talk about a couple things that he says in his blog here. Number one. Not that I have personal experience, but I am pretty sure it does not take 21 days of smoking crack to develop a crack habit. Anything that provides our brain with intense feelings of pleasure is going to be learned fast, which is why many of us already have a set of habits we like to change to begin with. So, I say that to say this. When we don't give ourselves time, when we don't make time for ourselves throughout the day, we say things like, man, I deserve a drink. And we have a drink of wine or vodka or whatever your drink of choice is, and because it gives, it fills our brains with dopamine, it makes us feel good. In a week, you have an alcoholic. Me, I'm addicted to these Monster energy drinks because I don't make time for myself. I'm always tired. I work 2 jobs trying to get this book into a movie. I work 2 jobs to get the funds for myself that I need. Thankfully, I have one day off, Sunday, and that's my day that I relax and I make time for myself. However, when it comes to these habits, that's how we become alcoholics, we become drug addicts, whatever your whatever your vice is, we become an addict to that because we don't make time for ourselves, and it's easier and easier to make an excuse to do these things, and that's how we form addicts, because we don't make time for ourselves, because our mental health is in shambles, because we make time for everything else besides ourselves. So we justify, instead of 1 drink tonight, I'm gonna have 2. Instead of 2 cigarettes, I'm gonna smoke 4. I had a hard day. Hey, instead of snorting 1 line of coke, I'm going to snort 2. I had a hard day. The kids are driving me insane. My boss is driving me insane. I had a hard day. And there's it's well known that Americans, we have PTO, we don't take time off, things like that. Why the hell are our vacation days use it or lose it? Think about it. It's because we dedicate so much time to our jobs that we are losing our vacation days, and jobs take that for granted. So they say, use your vacation days or you lose them. And there are vacation days going down the drain in America. Look at all these other countries. They don't work as hard as we do. They don't. And we dedicate all this time to our jobs. We work 12-hour shifts. We work overtime. We work off the clock, things like that. And that job will replace you in a minute. Replace you in a minute. Now, let's talk about how when you are stressed out, when you don't make time for yourself and your mental health is in shambles, how it relates to everyone around you. I made a diagram. This is another reason why you should hire me, because I'm awesome and I'm dope and I do dope stuff when it comes to this mental health. Let's take a look. This is you. This is what I call your circle of influence. People who you interact with in your life. The circle that's closest to you, people that you interact with more often than not. Wife, husband, kid, and your best friends. When you don't make time for yourself, these are people who feel the wrath the most. Hey, honey, can you make me a cup of coffee? Make your own damn coffee. I'm tired. Kid, hey, mom, can you drive me to school? I missed the bus. Hell no, take an Uber. I'm tired. I gotta go to work. Best friend, you go from seeing your best friend, talking to your best friends every day, to not really seeing them, and the small things start to get you upset because you don't make time for yourself. You're so burnt out. Your friends don't see you as much. Let's move to the next outer circle here. Co-workers, your co-worker, your sister, your brother, customers from your job. When you have time for yourself and when you're not burnt out, here's how it is. Thank you for calling my job. My name is David. How can I help you today? But then when you don't make time for yourself, when you're tired, when you're burned out, when that habit that you form because you want to make yourself feel good at the end of the day, when that starts to take over your life, you come to work drunk. Sometimes you may drink at work, or if you're doing coke, you may do coke at work, and everything gets on your nerves, including your customers. So it goes from, how you doing today, to, you see a call, boop. What? Okay, please hold. And it starts to affect your job. All right? Now, back to our circles here. Your boss. That's a big one. Because you're burned out. You start to get short with your boss. And your boss may see the decline in your performance, which may lead to you not getting promoted, negative performance reviews, more coaching, things like that, right? Outer circle here. Somebody who we have to interact with every day that we may not like, that random person in traffic. We start to get short with people. We start to give people the finger, and we beeping the horn, and we're impatient in traffic. We just don't like it. Grandparents, grandma, grandpa saying, why don't you come see me anymore? Oh, I ain't got time for you no more, man. I don't make time for myself, so I don't got time to come visit you wherever you at, man. Outside organizations. I am vice president of NAMI DeKalb here in DeKalb County, Georgia. If I don't make time for myself, then this organization is going to suffer because I'm not going to have the energy to go to my monthly board meetings, to be in public, to interact with the VA, because I just got certified in NAMI Homefront, which is a program for caregivers of veterans and people who live with veterans to help them with their own mental health. And then this wonderful thing here that we all tend to love, our followers. Why aren't you posting anymore? Why aren't you making videos anymore? Why aren't you doing these things anymore? Your content starts to suck. And we get offended because we don't make time for ourselves. And that last circle of influence are people that we can choose to interact with, but we don't have to interact with every day. But they start to suffer because we're burned out. We are forming habits, like me with these monsters. And we are not being our normal selves because we're tired. We're burned out. We give our energy, too much energy, to people, places, and things, and we come last. So, I say that to ask, what changes, if you are in this horrible, horrible pattern in your life, what can you do to make time for yourself? What can you eliminate from your life to give yourself an hour a day to do what you want to do? Maybe half an hour to do what you want to do. Can you teach people who depend on you to be a little bit more self-reliant? Can you take your vacation days at your job, PTO? Use it or lose it. And people are losing it, which is, in my mind, ridiculous. what can you do? Let me give you an example of what I do. I, right now, am learning French. As a professional speaker, my dream right now is to give an entire speech in French. Now, I'm not confident enough to speak French right now in front of y'all. I'm not confident enough to do that. But I hope to be so in about 6 months from now. I've been taking French for about a year and a half. Love it. I speak it. I have an app called Bosu. Bosu, I don't know how to say it, but I also had a tutor with Varsity Tutors, and it makes me feel good about myself to be this kid from Rochester, New York, who barely graduated high school, scored the bare minimum on his ASVAB, just to become a Cavalry Scout because I didn't qualify for anything else, even though I'm glad to be a Cavalry Scout. But now I'm learning a foreign language. It raises my self-esteem. It makes me feel good about myself. When I go to these bars and restaurants in Atlanta and I hear people speaking French, I can pick up on the conversation and I can say a few sentences and I can have about a 5-minute conversation with them in a different language. It boosts my self-esteem and it makes me feel great about myself because I'm dedicating time, energy, and effort into myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, make time for yourself. Don't get burned out. That job will be there whether you're there or not. Them kids, they're going to get to school one way or another. Your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever sexual orientation you are, it don't matter. They'll be okay if you take half an hour to treat yourself when you get off work before you start to make dinner. Or make them feel special. Make yourself feel special. Because you are special. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty good at this professional speaking thing. I'm good talking about this mental health. If you would like to hire me for your next mental health talk via Zoom or in person, follow me. Or you can, visit my website, www.kendrickjr.com. I'm out of here. I will see y'all next time. I'm going to put the link to that Psychology Today post that I mentioned in my speech in the description. I'm going to put Mr. King's blog in there as well as mine because, like I said, I'm an advocate and I love to talk about this mental health stuff. It's not the sexiest topic. It's not going to get a bunch of likes and raves and reviews and things like that, but I'm very good at it and I would like to speak for you. See y'all later.